Hello, my movie peeps. The streaming wars are continuing to be a thing within the movie space, and Warner Brothers today made a major announcement about how they plan to compete against them big boys. I sat down and watched the hour-long panel of Warner Brothers in their announcement where they're not only explaining what their new streaming service is, they also announced a couple of surprise shows headed our way. So what I'll be doing here for you guys is breaking down the announcement of this new streaming service for Warner Brothers Discovery, giving you my thoughts and opinions on some of those first looks like the teaser trailer for Matt Reeves' The Penguin series, why they decided to rename it, are these price points fair, but it's not just gonna be about my opinion, guys. I want to know from you. The whole point of these kind of announcements is for the consumer. It is you. You're gonna be the one determining whether this streaming service lives or dies. And you know, as much hate as there's gonna be surrounding this announcement, there are some shows in here they announced that I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to be signing up for the streaming service. Timestamps will be in the description if there's a certain section you want to hear me talk about the most, but let's just get on with it. So this is actually something that we've known has been coming and in the works for a while. If you remember way back whenever Discovery acquired Warner Brothers, they made it clear they have plans for a combined streaming service that would put HBO Max and Discovery Plus into one. It would get renamed and it would be rebranded and sold to the people, and now that announcement has finally arrived. They've decided to name the combined HBO Max and Discovery Plus streaming service into just Max. It'll be set to launch this year, May 23rd, with the current pricing for the new series being Max Ad Lite, which will be $9 a month. This, of course, just gives you 1080p quality with a couple of ads here and there throughout your experience. Then there's Max Ad Free at $15.99 a month. This one will be with no ads and also just 1080p quality with a few other little tidbits. And then Max Ultimate Ad Free. Okay, so what is ad-free and then what is ultimate ad-free? You still gonna give me ads on ad-free? That's honestly such a confusing way to word it, but both of them are ad-free. The biggest difference here, other than the price point, $19.99 a month, is that Max Ultimate ad-free will let you stream stuff in 4K quality while everything else is 1080p. I think a lot of those price points are kind of bogus, but then again, you have to think of the large library you're getting from combining two streaming services together. So let's just get into it here. This name Max. There's two ways to look at this. For one, people are like, why would you drop the name HBO from your title? You know how long HBO has been around, and even in your presentation you talk about quality over quantity. Having the name HBO right there screams quality because that's all they seem to produce. But that's exactly why they needed to drop HBO from the title of this, because not everything they're gonna throw on Max is quality. No offense to my people who enjoy the content on Discovery Plus, there is some good stuff I like to watch on there. But it doesn't scream HBO, you know, those shows where they're renovating homes, or these long series where they investigate murders that happen in small towns and whatnot. Stuff that some people would call junk food TV, like 90 Day Fiancé. That stuff just doesn't fit into the HBO branding of quality, and Max is supposed to be like a combination of stuff everybody can watch, something that a cinephile would love, but then your mama would love, your daddy who loves these renovation shows. It's supposed to be a hub for everything and anything, and just doesn't fit the HBO brand. So in a way, it is kind of smart, and I understand why they dropped HBO, because it's like, I still want that to be held up to a high standard. When something gets announced as an HBO show, you just automatically think quality, and over the years, if they kept that title here, you would just start thinking HBO and renovation home improvement shows, and it's like, that's not what HBO is. But also, just the name Max is kind of like, So honestly, the titling is fine, and it preserves HBO, because HBO is still going to be its own separate series. That won't get rebranded or touched, and even Discovery said Discovery will also remain its own separate series as well, because that's profitable, which I thought would kind of defeat the purpose of this, man. I'll tell you another thing. Watching that presentation was something else. It was like, for a split second, feeling like a major Comic-Con type announcement, because they were announcing all these cool shows and stuff for like me as a cinephile would love, and then out of nowhere, here's a trailer for our new 90 Day Fiancé season. I'm like, what? But getting into one of the first things they discuss here in terms of content is they did make it clear James Gunn's new DC rebooted universe, all the series that'll be going to the streaming service will be branded as Max Originals. So they're no longer HBO Max Originals, they're just Max Originals. They didn't really touch upon anything further, they just made that clear, but then they showed us a trailer for Matt Reeves' The Penguin series, which, let's talk about this thing. This trailer was absolutely fantastic. This is where we have to be thankful things like Marvel and DC competition are a thing, because this feels like it's gonna blow the waters out of any Disney Plus series I have ever seen. If you still don't know, this will be set within the Robert Pattinson, Matt Reeves Batman universe, where when that movie ended, Carmine Falcone was killed off, leaving the criminal empire of Gotham empty and waiting for someone to take its crown. And that'll be the focus of this series, is seeing how Oswald Cobblepot, Colin Farrell's the Penguin, will be rising to power in Gotham. And I just love the look of everything I'm seeing here. It looks really gritty, still very much in tone with the Matt Reeves universe. This is something I would have definitely expected to be HBO quality, but it's rebranded as just a Max original. Doesn't matter really. It's only gonna hide that new rebranding name for them. So honestly, that was kind of a great way to show off and start off their content presentation, because I know I'm gonna be watching that series. It'll be coming out in 2024. Jumping on from there, I do want to mention I'm only gonna be sticking to the movie related stuff. Like, they did announce a new series in the Big Bang Theory universe. I know that's exciting for some people, but not really something I want to focus on. So from there, they instead went to talk about a couple of things in the Warner Brothers lineup, specifically horror-related content. Starting off with confirming the It prequel series titled Welcome to Derry will be a Max original. They're excited for what they have to offer. I was hoping they were going to confirm that Bill Skarsgård was returning as Pennywise, but still, that has not been confirmed. Holding out hope for him to be Pennywise, though. As this was being announced, though, on the internet, fans have discovered a new plot line that has surfaced online, so might as well mention it to you. Thanks to a great horror user by the name of Kay, she discovered on Production Weekly a new synopsis for the show that goes, set in the 1960s, 4 kids in a town bordering an Air Force base with a mysterious special projects bunker search for a friend of theirs who disappeared mysteriously. That already gets my mind racing to what this show could be, and so we're going again with the kid route, which I think is fine. 4 kids. It sets you up for that typical It storytelling, you know, where you have maybe the first 2 seasons about these kids trying to go after Pennywise. They defeat them, and then we jump 23 years later, or however many years it's supposed to be, and they're adults, and we get a couple of seasons like that, kind of like in the movies. We know Pennywise is some sort of creature from outer space, so it looks like they're going to be by a facility that is researching something that has landed on Earth, and it's probably Pennywise trying to escape. I think that could be a lot of fun if this plot synopsis turns out to be true. And then the next Max original they announced that kind of took me by surprise is they confirm there will be a Conjuring TV spin-off series set in the same universe as the movies. I wish they would have given us more details. All we really know is that it'll still be based on the story set up in the movie. I mean, I think it's kind of a no-brainer what you do though, right? You have the Warren Museum. We know there's so many artifacts and history with different little cases that they've done. Make every episode in that show something about a little thing in their museum. Not everything is gonna warrant its own big movie, but man, give me an episode on the Crooked Man. Explain the episode about that haunted bride dress or something like that. That would be a fun kind of Twilight Zone-like episode set in the Conjuring universe. Every episode could end with the Warren family showing up and getting rid of the thing and adding it to their museum. I feel like that would be a formula for a great show. I would tune in. So let me tell you, Penguin series, It prequel series, this Conjuring TV series, Max has got my money right now, man. There were some random things that they announced I thought maybe was worth mentioning here, like they're gonna bring in a Rick and Morty, the anime. With the recent stuff and behind the scenes drama, I don't think it was the best time to announce that, but hey, that's something to look forward to if you want a Rick and Morty in anime form. They gave us our first trailer for Gremlins Secret of the Mogwai, which is a 3D animated show about a Mogwai and a little kid with the man who found him, who I'm assuming is from the movies. It looks cute and fun, but it's just something I don't think I would tune into. Give me another live action Gremlins movie, please. They also did decide to debut a new The Flash trailer with just snippets of new footage. Really, the newest thing in there is this shot of Michael Keaton as Batman without his mask on. The only reason this was mainly mentioned is because Warner Brothers Discovery wants to make it clear that they still believe in the theatrical window. It's become very common now that once a movie hits theaters, within like 3 or 4 weeks, it'll be on a streaming service. And with The Flash releasing on June 16th, they're saying it won't hit their streaming service until the fall, a couple of months later, showing their dedication to theatrical releases, and then also that you need to be tuned into Max if you want to see The Flash at home. From there, they decided to show a couple of teaser trailers for new Max original Originals. Again, just sticking to the movie related stuff. I thought the whole thing was going kind of fine and smoothly, and then they wanted to end things with two major announcements. One is a new Game of Thrones prequel spin-off series titled A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, The Hedge Knight. It's supposed to be set like a century or two before the main Game of Thrones storyline, so that should be exciting for fans of that. But the biggest announcement they decided to end things with that I was completely shocked and taken aback by, I never thought this was actually going to become official. They confirmed the Harry Potter Reboot series going to this new Max streaming service where they will be adapting each season based off one of the Harry Potter books is now officially in the works. Wow. We heard this rumor going around last week, and I was like, you know, that could be an interesting thing to do. It makes sense, you know, dedicate a whole season to each one of the books. It would let you do things that you couldn't do in the movies, but it's like, I feel Harry Potter is still new. It's not time to reboot it. You know, those actors are still here. Give us a new movie with them. Forget this Fantastic Beasts stuff. Could you really reboot the series in a way where you capture the same magic with a new group of kids? Give us a new Hogwarts, a new theme, all that stuff, recreate it in streaming form? That's gonna be a monumental task, and it looks like they are up for the freaking challenge, man. I'm not gonna be as big of a hater on this as everybody. I know the biggest controversy surrounding it is that J.K. Rowling will be an executive producer of it. I know there's some drama with J.K. In fact, I think it's some of this J.K. drama that I think made some of the original Harry Potter stars not want to return for a new movie where they're adults and their kids are taking up the mantle of the series because they just don't want to be associated with her anymore, and I feel like that's why they had to go with the reboot route. So honestly, I don't know. I mentioned I'm a casual Harry Potter fan. I enjoy those movies. I think they're fun, but man, you have a tall order to fill if you're going to reboot this entire thing. Even the little teaser trailer they played off is going based off the music from the movies. You're just going to do exactly what the movies did in terms of style, flavor, and look, but give us a new cast? That feels kind of cheap. If you're going to reboot it, make it your own thing, man. Stand out. Obviously, don't go too wildly crazy different to the point that it just alienates the fans. But if you're just going to keep everything exactly the same and just cast new people in the roles, that feels cheap and lazy. But I am extremely shocked, and this just goes to show you how much they're dedicated to this Max original. Every streaming service right now is fighting for just that one show that everybody recognizes them for and signs up just to watch that. This Harry Potter show might be that for Max Originals. Really crazy, intense stuff, but this is just the things that drives competition, man. Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, they were looking at this announcement going, oh, we got to strike. We got to do something. I know Disney Plus was looking at that Penguin trailer series and going, all right, we need to make our shows better. This is where I throw it off to you guys. You see this presentation for the new Warner Brothers streaming service just titled Max with the announcements of some of these shows and the directions they're headed in. Is this going to be a streaming service that is going to compete well? Or is this all going to fire back on their face? You know, as much as I want to be a hater, I think they got something here. I think they got something. Let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at 3C Films or on TikTok at 3C Films. But as always, I'm Chris. Take care.